Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Kayode Okikiolu.
The Ebonyi state government has been reacting to the claim that it ordered the disruption of the march by supporters of the Labour Party presidential candidate in Abakaliki. The Commissioner for Information in the state, Mr. Ochina Oji, told Channels Television that the allegation is false, maintaining that the governor did not order the action by the police. He, however, said the police may have acted to forestall a breakdown of law and order.
I would like to say that there is no truth in the rumors going around that the government of Ebonyi State had a hand in the little problems that the rallying members of Labour Party had today in Ebonyi State. I can tell you categorically that the governor of Ebonyi State, who is not even in the state today, is a believer of democracy. He believes in the rule of law, and he has been doing everything possible to give enabling environment to all political parties. I think what happened in this case of Labour Party that had a rally today was that I think there were some infiltrations by some politicians who were rejected in other political parties. They came to Labour Party. Of course, it's a squabble of who will be in charge. I think that was what caused that very situation of uproar, and the police had to come in. And of course, given the nature of the place they were, required that there should be order. And how that could have been the reason why police had to really interfere. You will recall that even despite the rumors and the falsehood peddled, calling names all over the place, that they still had their rally, even though it was a very small number. And so that goes to show that the Ebonyi State gives every political party enabling environment. For me, I think that Labour Party in Ebonyi State has a lot of problems. A lot of people who left their contests in other political parties came. And this is what is causing the kind of disorderliness that we are seeing in the Labour Party in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State is an orderly state. And I think that every person coming to do anything in Ebonyi State should appreciate that this is not a kind of animal farm. It's not a disorderly state. We do things oddly. And I know that the governor, even before he left, had approved that they should use the stadium to do their rally. And that is the place where if you think you have the crowd, you can come to the stadium and test your number, your numerical strength. So I want to disabuse the mind of the people, especially members of the public, on insinuations, even name callings, in social media. Social media has been a menace, I tell you. It has been part of the problems of our democracy, as it were. And I think that we shouldn't be giving credence and credibility to, all these social media insinuations. I think we need to go deep into, or dig deep into what happened to know the roles of some of those politicians in the new members of Labour Party that came struggling for, positions. I think that's where the problem lies.
There's also an allegation that certain money was required that they pay, but they could not meet up. Reason the usage of the stadium was not approved.
I think that was the internal wrangling I was talking about. There were a lot of new entrants, from other political parties. Those who were rejected during the primaries, they came to our Labour Party and are trying to use this opportunity to see how they can find their way. And so they had issues of who should go to stadium, who should not go to stadium. I think that was what really happened. But the government had approved the stadium and any other place that would want to stay and do their peaceful rally. The government had approved that, and it's not the fault of government. I think they should look inwards. There's high level of infiltration of never-do-well politicians in a Labour Party in Ebonyi State.
Okay, finally, there was, of course, the videos are out there in terms of the way the manner the police handled it. I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I must say that is still part of the insinuations in social media. Initially, they were saying there was shooting. We're calling all sorts of names. I leave it up to them. But let me say that the police has the powers under the Police Act to take certain steps to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. And where political parties, instead of abiding by the rules, the rule of the game, decided to cause uproar, cause tension in the streets. What would police do than to see a way of dispersing them in line with the rule of the game, the minimum, force. I think what they did was not out of place.
And elsewhere, reactions continue to trail the claims by the spokesman of the Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, on alleged inflation of the voter register with fictitious names in Omoma community in Imo State. But the latest is from the state's Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Declan Emenumba, who described the allegation as baseless and unfounded. Addressing journalists in Owerri, the Imo State capital, he called for the arrest of the CUPP spokesperson over his claim. Elsewhere, at a separate news conference, the Imo State chapter of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, also reacted to the allegation.
As amended